Hi, I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez from Kajukenbo Live, coming from South Lake Tahoe, California. Today I got Mr. Freedom on the phone. So this should be a very good interview. Are you there?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. How's New York?
Right now it's pretty hot. Pretty hot right now. It's opening back up. So, hopefully that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's been pretty hot in here. It's been like in the 90s right now. So yeah. So tell us, what style of martial arts do you teach?
Well, I teach a system known as Makoto-Ru, which is an eclectic system taught in a traditional manner. It's a combined system of karate and jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that's nice. And is that your own system, or did you learn that from somebody?
Oh, I learned it from my teachers, of course. When I started martial arts when I was 11, back in 1964, when I was 11, from being bullied and my parents sent me to martial arts.
Uh-huh.
And it was two guys in a St. John Recreation Center that were teaching self-defense that was from the Army at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I started training with them as a young kid, judo, but I didn't really like it, but I had to do something, to help protect myself. And then I went into Japanese Goju. As I got older, I studied Japanese Goju, and then I studied Sanuki Jiu-Jitsu, Balalian Jiu-Jitsu. I studied Hawaiian Kempo under Grandmaster, what's the last name? Oh, man. Oh, Mr. Ken Sapio. Yeah, I will clear Master Ken Sapio. He was a Hawaiian that was teaching self-defense up in the training school that I was in when I was young, back in 1967, 68.
How old are you now?
68.
Oh yeah, I'm 62. So you're a little older than me. I'm 62, so you're a little bit older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 68. Long come with the age, come the pain.
Yeah, trust me, I know how that is. I mean, I never thought I'd feel this much pain, or be able to not even be able to almost bend down and tie my shoes. It's been that painful and stuff. But yeah, you don't get hooked on the medicine because it's not a good thing, to do that for you. So what kind of obstacles did you have to overcome teaching the martial arts?
Well, now it's the COVID. You have to overcome a lot of that distancing, and it's a weird way of teaching now. You know what I mean? Still just getting used to, even with myself, because I'm still recuperating from that, even though I've had it, but I was on ventilator, incubator, and all of that. But it's still left a little damage. Like some things I can't really remember too good. Walking sometimes a little problem, But in the early years, the obstacles you had to come over was prejudices. A lot of prejudices in martial arts in New York at that time.
Yeah.
I guess it was a thing where people were uncomfortable with teaching blacks, Hispanics, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even in Chinatown, there was very few teachers that was willing to teach people of color in Chinatown at that time.
Wow.
And, I lucked up. I had very good teachers coming up, and no nonsense teachers, should I say. A lot of them was ex-military, just coming back home from Vietnam. So the regiment was hard, the training was hard, very hard. But it was a good thing, If I had to do it all over again, I would.
Sure.
I advise every parent to allow their children to come and practice and learn to train.
Yeah.
Because I have a thing with bullies. You know what I mean? I hate bullying, and I don't believe in just quiet, it's going to go away. You have to learn to stop that. You have to learn to deal with that. And a lot of times parents don't understand what the obstacles that the child is going through when they're being bullied, because it's not happening to them. You understand? They're going to work every day trying to make a life for the child, but the child is going to school or going back and forth in the neighborhood, and sometimes it's a dangerous thing, you know?
Oh, there's no doubt about that at all. I used to have there was like a couple high schools in San Leandro where I taught my studio, and like Pacific High School used to send over, I hate to use that word, but like all their bad apples, the really bad kids and stuff, and for me to work with them. And most of the time I didn't charge them because the families couldn't afford it, you know, but I would turn that student to like an F and a D student to an A, B student, and yes sir, no sir, and they'd call me up and they'd go, oh my God, what'd you do to this kid? I go, he's like completely did a 190. So, you know, if you put a little effort, you'll be able to help these kids.
Right. And that's maybe the thing. You have to be willing to sacrifice yourself and your time and to really be a good listener to the children, because there's a lot going on, you know. They have a lot to deal with that we didn't have to deal with. But in some things we did, you know.
Sure.
We had the bully, but we didn't have the pressure like they have now.
Yeah.
You know, what's going on now is, it seems like the world is going crazy right now, especially in New York. You know,
I can imagine.
A lot of violence going on. People are just walking down the block, hitting people, shooting people, stabbing people, you know.
Yeah, I watch the news every day, and I just at amazement that the people that are doing the off the wall stuff.
It's ridiculous. And what's going on with the senior citizens, with myself as a senior citizen, you know, the people, they were attacking them for no reason, you know, unprovoked. It's really bad, you know what I mean? And all I can say is, sooner or later they're bound to get the right one, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They say that you get in the ones that are seem helpless or unassuming.
Yeah.
You know, but sooner or later, it's going to balance out.
Yeah, it's just what I find kind of crazy lately now is they're beating up all the Chinese people because the virus came from China. Well, the people that are getting beat up over here, they didn't cause the virus. It's not their fault.
Exactly.
You know, and this little old lady standing there, guys walking up, just punching them out. I'm like, wow, just wow, unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And they seem to know the ones to beat up, you know what I mean? Because there are some that you really don't want to do that to, or try to do that to. But so far they haven't ran across them yet. But let them keep on. It's bound to happen, you know. It's bound to happen.
Oh, sooner or later, yeah. They're going to run across the wrong person, you know.
True.
So tell me, what would you like to see better in the martial arts?
I can't hear you.
I said, what would you like to see to better in the martial arts?
Oh, I would like to see a better understanding amongst martial artists and their systems, you know, because there's a lot of that coming back. You know, my system better than yours. Yours don't have much to offer like mine. You know, it's a childish thing, like, you know, my teacher's better than your teacher, when actually there's really no best martial art, just best students, and what you can take from the art itself and make work for you. You understand?
Yeah.
I would like to see a lot of that change. I would like to see a more better brotherhood.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to see a better brotherhood, which is what we need. Mm-hmm. More so, even with organizations, you know, you have a lot of martial organizations. Some are good, some not so good. I like to see martial organizations that are more like a brotherhood, that it doesn't matter what style, what system you come from. It doesn't matter your ethnic background. Yeah. The only thing that matters is your willingness to want to learn, your willingness to want to share what you've learned. Sure. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
That's where the unity comes in.
Yeah.
So, that's what I would like to see better, you know?
Yeah. So, like I run the...
You know, make it happen.
Yeah, like, you know, well, you're a president in New York, but, you know, like I run the WWKA. Now people think, oh, I've got flack with, well, you know, this Kajukenbo and you're taking in Taekwondo people. I take all martial artists in. I don't care if you're Kajukenbo, Taekwondo, if you take Tai Chi, if you take Kung Fu. we're all family, and I take everybody in. I don't turn anybody away. You know, and that's the way I look at it. You know, I mean, I'm here for everybody, just not Kajukenbo people. You know, and you know, I mean, like the promotion thing. You know, I mean, I'll promote Kajukenbo people that I know, you know, or that's under me or under my black belts. But like all the other, like yourself and everybody else, you know, we recognize you guys as rank. You know, that way you'll be able to, you know, get recognition on that.
Right.
You know.
Well, see, your organization is one of the better organizations, and the brotherhood is great. You know,
Thank
there's
you.
a camaraderie with your organization that a lot of other organizations can learn from.
Yeah.
And hopefully it will happen like that. And maybe as the weather finally gets better and the situation gets better, we can have a worldwide tournament, or just
Sure.
not a tournament, just seminar. Or, you know, essentially where we can just come together and share the brotherhood.
Yeah, of course.
That would be great, you know?
Yeah. And that's what I look at it. I just look at it as one big giant family, and we try to help everybody. You know, just not certain
Right.
people. You know. So what do you think about the Grand Masters now compared to back in the day?
You know, I've actually been thinking about that, you know. Wow, I have mixed feelings about that, to be honest with you. Some I see where my mind is where it's, okay, with the Grandmasters, now, even with myself, some I have to say they're more reachable. They're more reachable to a degree than in the past.
Yeah.
You understand? Because a lot of the grandmasters that we've had in the past was really hard to reach. You know, it was like, okay, I have to go through you and you and you and you to get to him. You understand?
Yeah.
And I really need to have this conversation with the grandmaster. I need to find out certain things. But now, you know, the grandmasters we're here at present, we're kind of more, I don't know if you say, I don't want to say human, but
No, I know exactly.
we're more reachable.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, and I remember those days back in the day. It was like, you know, oh my God, you know, you didn't even talk to Grandmaster Gaylord and stuff like that. And now it's a little different. Like I get people call me every day and would just chit chat, you know, or ask for help or ask for, you know, guidance and everything. And that's what a true grandmaster is that's there for everybody to help. You know, anytime that, you know, they need help or advice, they should be able to go to their grandmaster and talk to them. Not, you know, not be able to not talk to them at all. You know.
Right. Well, see, that's the difference with that now, because back then in the '60s and early '70s, it was a thing that if you did that, then the sensei who was there teaching sometimes felt a kind of way about it, felt like you overstepped your bounds, you went over his head, and, you know, to speak to the grandmaster when he wanted you to just speak to him. So, you know, it's a lot, you know what I mean? Like, I know some grandmasters, when I was coming up in my early underbelt years and early black belt years, you couldn't even speak to them.
No.
You know, it was like they was on a pedestal, you know what I mean? They were unreachable, you know?
Yeah.
Which I make sure that I'm not that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I speak to anybody, everybody. It doesn't matter to me. White belt, green belt, black belt. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it is. How else can the martial arts grow if we keep distancing ourselves from the problem?
Sure. I have a little story. We used to go to like Portland, Oregon, do seminars and stuff. One of the black belts, his father had a huge, I mean, I'm talking about huge, like Beverly Hills type mansion built up there. And he told me, he says, Grandmaster, he says, you guys, you and Senior Grandmaster Vargas, don't stay at the hotels. You stay with us at this big house. 'Cause it was him and his friend and his sister, because the mom and dad, he's a brain surgeon. And he was out in the Congo helping people, and he was never there. So we'd stay in this big giant mansion for like a week or two, right? And they'd like pay for everything. And I remember it was me, him, and one of the other students. we had breakfast. So the bill came, and I went to pick up the bill, and he's on, no. I can't have it. You're a grandmaster. He goes, you're not supposed to pay. I just smiled at him. I said, no, this grandmaster don't play that game. I go, you're letting me stay in this big mansion for 2 weeks. I go, I'm going to pay for the bill. Oh, well, we can't do that. I said, well, you're going to do it. And so I took and paid the bill because they're so used to their grandmaster have them paying for everything. And I'm the complete opposite. I mean, I just, as soon as the bill comes, I reach over and I'll grab the bill. I won't sit back, like you said, on my pedestal and expect them to pay for me. I automatically just try to take care of it and stuff like that. So they just kind of sat there with their faces kind of looking at each other going, wow. You know, what grandmasters usually don't do this. I go, well, this one does. You know.
Right.
It's just the way it is. So did you used to compete in a lot of tournaments in your day?
Say what now?
I said, did you used to compete in a lot of tournaments in your day?
No, I didn't compete in a lot of tournaments, you know, because my teachers, the majority of them really wasn't into tournament fighting. They was more into self-defense. Because I snuck over as a green belt to a tournament, and I did pretty well. I got scolded for it. I mean, I came in second place in my division, but I still got scolded for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my teacher would tell me, well, that trophy is good, but it's not going to save your life. You know, so
yeah.
We just cut out the tournaments. Then I went to a few as coming up in the range, throughout my black belt coming up the range. I fought in a few tournaments, you know, but basically I'm not a tournament fighter, you know, competitor like that.
Yeah.
I basically just teach, you know, and I go to different places and help teach and, you know, just do what I got to do that way, you know, but I'm not against it. I just don't see it. I don't really, it's just tag to me. You understand what I'm saying? At this point now.
Well, yeah.
You know, and it's tag compared to the tournaments back then. The tournaments back then was basically blood and guts.
You got that right. I remember those days. I remember those days. Trust me. I'm no hand pads, no feet pads. You would have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out and wailing. And now I just laugh. The guys walk around going, "I'm a world champion fighter." I said, "No, you play tag. That's all you do. You play tag." Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, and you got a headgear. You got headgear on. You got everything you can think of, protection on. If they fought years ago, like we used to fight, it's a complete different ball game. Completely different ball game.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it was bloody.
We didn't have all the safety equipment.
No.
You know what I mean? In fact, actually, we would stop off at the store and buy a Band-Aid, wrap our hands with the Band-Aid, or wrap and a cup. And that was it. Yeah.
I always wore a cup because we were mandatory. We were cups in class. I wore a cup, and we used to take hand wraps and get that white medical tape and wrap our hand wraps so they're nice and solid. That's so when you hit, they hurt. And anyway, I wore a pair of shin pads. And that was it. And a mouthpiece.
That's exactly the way it was.
And we would go and everybody's wailing on each other. You know, I remember my second tournament was the internationals in Long Beach, and I was only a white belt, and I got wrist hand right across my front teeth, loosened all my front teeth out. And didn't knock out; they just loosened them all. But I mean, that was my second tournament. I'm like, wow, this is karate tournament. I didn't realize that internationals was that big until I got there. I was only a little kid, you know, and I was like, whoa, you know, but nowadays it's just like, I don't know, it's just kind of like a joke, not like before, you know. So what do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
Can I do it now?
I said, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years from now in the martial arts?
Oh, 10 years, well, hopefully I'm still here.
Well, yeah, you're a little older, right?
I can just see myself as pretty much doing what I'm doing now, but maybe in a more broader spectrum, you know, as far as teaching and traveling around the world, you know, teaching, you know, I would like to do that. Like I said, I've been a few places, but I like to really expand.
Yeah.
You know, and
teach
and learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Has the COVID lightened up a little bit in New York right now for the karate studios, or are they still pretty bad?
Well, they seem to be opening up now. You know, they're telling people you don't have to wear masks all the time, and different sections. You know, a lot of the venues are open back up. They're doing if you go to the concert, the people on the left have masks. The people on the right haven't been vaccinated.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like segregation, truthfully speaking. But, you know, it's opening up. It's opening up. It's getting better, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
But my personal feeling is it seems more of an economic situation than a safety. You know, because I'm still wearing my mask. I don't see myself taking it off no time soon.
No, I got I got the shot, and I wear my mask, and my 3 children that are under 7, they wear their mask. And as soon as we get in the car, you put the hand sanitary on our hand. I mean, and like I noticed yesterday, a lot of people at the stores didn't have them on, but I just not gonna take the chance. I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just not gonna take the chance. Because I got too much to lose. But I appreciate you being the president of the WWKA from New York. Hopefully when things get better, we'll be able to get more members and.
I appreciate the honor. Yeah, well, I have a few people that is interested. They're calling me.
Yeah.
Different points to see about information on it. Some would like pamphlets. So I send them to the website. So they get information. And then I said, wait and see what happens next. A lot of people say they want to do different things, but after I present it to you, I sit back and see what you're going to do after that.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Take it from there,
Yeah, a lot of people talk and they don't do. But.
Yeah, but you should get more people because one thing for sure, like I say, your organization has a lot more to offer than some that I've been in part of. And like I said, the brotherhood and the not being restricted of your style, that's a good thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that.
We're going to see what happens, but it can only grow. Thank you. I appreciate you too. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this interview up. I'm here with Grandmaster Freedom from New York, and thank you again for being our guest today. And I'll be looking forward to seeing you one day in New York soon, when things get a little better. So, I'm Senior Grandmaster Jimenez from Kajukenbo Live, coming from South Lake Tahoe, California. You'll see this on our podcast video on our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.